Hello everybody, it's Reggie Time here, and today we are doing some 4 tabling on Sky Poker. Top 2 tables are some 10NL tables, the bottom 2 are 4NL tables, and there's 2 reasons why we're playing these stakes. First reason being that it's 6:30 in the morning and there's not a single game above 10NL running, or there's not a single game between 10NL and 50NL running. There may be some higher stakes games. And the second reason is that because my channel is kind of aimed at nano stakes and micro stakes players, it doesn't make that much sense to play higher stakes. So hopefully we're going to find some fun spots. 4 tabling on Sky is just about the maximum that I'm comfortable doing. The software's not great. We don't have tracking software, so we've got to do an awful lot of manual observations. So I think we're playing more than 4 tables. We end up just playing cards rather than playing poker. We get to know the regulars quite quickly, so we kind of know how they are. Most of the regulars on Sky are on the tighter side, so it's not that hard to try and put myself in the same seat all tables. Not that hard to get to know the regulars, but there are quite a lot of fun players on the site, and it's good to identify them as quickly as possible, particularly if you're at a table where you don't really know many players. And if you're playing more than 4 tables, it's going to be quite hard to identify where the loose passive players are. So I think playing 4 is just fine, even less sometimes. Sometimes I just play. If we can only get 2 good tables, I just play 2 tables. I'm going to overlay Jack 9 here. I'm not sure we're going to achieve too much by trying to choose the pot. I think we're going to end up getting called in at least 2 spots. Then we're in a bloated pot with a Jack 9 suited, which isn't. It's not a terrible situation, but it's not a situation we need to be manufacturing either. And I'm just going to bet for value. Top pair. Plenty of draws out there. Plenty of weaker pairs that can call. Someone's in there with a 7, they're not folding. Who knows, people might even call with a deuce. Flush draws, straight draws. Going to treat the 4 like a brick. I'm just going to bet for value again. Hope not to get raised. If we raise, we're probably going to have to fold, which would make me sad. We're going to. We've been playing this table for a short while. I've been waiting for some tables, and Sexy did limp shove King Queen suited earlier for 10 quid. Hopefully he's in a similar frame of mind here. He or she, should I say. We're going to fold the Queen 10 off, and that is not a good flop. Our hand. I'm not going to see, but there is not enough going on for me. If there was a club on the board, I could see myself c-betting, but not when we got people like Sexy in the pot who's just clearly having fun and just wanting to throw some money around. I'm sure we'll be able to find a decent spot against Sexy sooner rather than later, and if we don't, well, we just don't. You know, sometimes you sit there, you try and set up situations, and they just never arrive for you. That's what happens. That's just what happens. One of the nice things about Sky Poker is it does have a nice amount of very recreational players. And there's a nice feel to the site. The regulars tend to get along with each other very nicely. It's just a nice place to try and have a hobby that generates some kind of income. It's a nice place to do it. It's probably the nicest place I've ever grinded, or ground, whatever the word would be. Just because you just chat away to the regulars, you get to know them. There was one of the best regulars on the site tonight. I was chatting to him earlier in the session, and I'd had a bad session. Things hadn't gone well. To be fair, we'd both got pretty much slaughtered by a particularly weak player who just ran like you wouldn't believe. And we were just basically just chewing each other along, commiserating with each other. It was just nice. It's just not something you get on any other site. There's just no negative feelings. It's quite nice. I'm just going to check call here because I should receive it probably. And we've rivered a full house over here, which probably means we're going to end up chopping the pot. Would be my guess. We're just going to keep check calling. We're going to keep betting 4 pence. I guess we go all in here and just try and get paid by who knows what. We don't ever get paid by worse, obviously, but we still have to jam because we lose to one hand. So we ended up chopping it back as 150 there. So what am I thinking when I play on Sky? What am I thinking about from the moment I log in onwards? I'm thinking about trying to find tables with fun players on, with hobbyists, with basically not many regulars. It's one of the only sites where you can comfortably get 4 tables running, where you're not just surrounded by regulars on every table. I don't want to be too dismissive of the players that do play on Sky because it's just not nice. It's not a nice thing to do. Some of them watch my videos, do post my videos on the Sky Poker Forum sometimes. I don't want to be rude about them, but it's the closest thing to a live game that you're going to find on the internet. I think Sky does have a knack of attracting live players to its games. It has quite a few live players who come on the shows, or come on the TV shows, who present some shows, who come on the YouTube channel. I think it does a good job of making the game fun. So the last thing I'm going to do is be rude about the people that I play against on a daily basis. But at the same time, there's no denying it. It does provide some of the softer games. Around. So when we come to play on Sky, one of the mistakes I think a lot of the regulars on Sky make, and I've spoken to some of them about it, is they just take game selection almost for granted. We're going to isolate the 10-8 here. In fact, no, we're not because of stack size. They just take for granted that they're going to find soft games, and they don't game select as hard as I think we could or should, in my opinion. Whereas I come in, I'm just looking for tables that have either got some empty seats where I can go and sit and hope some weaker players join, or I'll sit. Somebody knows me at 4-1L. Who the heck knows me at 4-1L? Gender 1, 2, 3. Well, that name rings a bell with me. Anyway, back to somebody who's watched my videos in the past. I think it might be somebody we've worked with. Oh, there you go. Sexy again with his all-in manoeuvre. Jack Knight's probably not in awful shape there. Anyway, to go back, the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for tables with names that I don't recognise. I'm looking for tables with people that have less than 100 big blinds in the stack. That kind of thing. And as I'm scrolling through the lobby, I just see there's lots of players all playing each other and maybe forming bad games around just one moderate player. And I think that's just, you're kind of wasting what you've got there. When you're on a softer side, if you're sitting in games where there's maybe only one weak player at a table of 6, I don't think you're doing as much. It's John. Hello there, John. Not up early. Having late night. I'm actually been to bed yet. It is 6 in the morning. Oh, and I've timed out with my seatbelt. Never mind. It looks like we get to check race instead, which is fun. Sexy's going for it again. King Jack just isn't quite strong enough, I don't think. And unfortunately, we get 2 folds. Am I even playing the micros? Yeah, anyways, I'm looking for things that other regulars aren't getting, and I think I read something not so long back, something that a very experienced poker player said, who just get a little bit of stick on 2+2. It's a player called Lyman. He's a character, but I was talking to him on Twitter about it because I talk to him now and again, and wow, he's asking me a lot of questions. Oops. And he said something that I thought was really quite pithy and very, very accurate. We were talking about game selection, and we were talking about how good players are these days, but how bad they are. And the good at the least important thing in poker, which is actually being good at poker. Because if you're good at game selecting, you don't need to be super good at poker. Whereas if you're bad at game selecting, you fucking damn need to be good. If you're not good at game selecting, you need to be shit hot at poker to make money. Whereas if you're good at game selecting, you can be bang average at poker, make a fucking ton of money. And that's all you need to be. You only need to be the best player at your table. And we're going to call Sexy. If Sexy goes all in, we're just going to flick it in here. Doesn't go all in, and we miss, which is kind of unfortunate. And we're going to make a substantial raise here with our kings. We're going to make it 7x. Expect to get at least one caller. Call this min bet here with our plethora of backdoors. Disappointed we don't get at least one caller with our kings. We've got someone to go all in, which is hopefully going to work out for us. It's worked out nice so far. Now we're going to hold. We do hold. So yeah, it's what he said to me. It's really is. It's an old message, but it's just so right. Game selection. It's in my opinion, the most important tool in any poker player's toolbox. And these days, I am very much in a minority of people who think that way, and I'm happy for that to be the case. But also, as somebody who makes a little bit of money from helping push nano stakes and micro stakes players in the correct direction, or in the right direction, it's a very easy way for me to just help push them in the right direction to begin with. Yeah, sure, and most of them come to me, they have significant leaks that they need to be fixed, and game selection alone isn't going to fix it for them. I'm just going to call Sexy here because he's just showing any two. Oh, we're ahead. We're in crushed. Well, we had him crushed. We no longer have him crushed. Oh, he hit strips. Never mind. We're going to keep playing him heads up, of course. Just fold here with my ace king. We have a pair, which is likely to be good against Lexi. Actually, just going to keep value betting. Call this dog back. He made a pair. And we're going to double Lexi up again here. Everything missed, didn't it? Oh, the 9 didn't miss. Never mind. Not the end of the world. When people against players like Lexi, you just have to make a hand and just cling on. I'm going to value bet our pair of jacks here against Barker. I'm going to value bet our pair of kings down here, our kings and queens against Ed. It's unfortunate that we've just been the person to double Lexi up twice, but if you've been paying attention, you'll have seen just how erratic that play has been, and I'm not in the business of folding very often to those types of plays when I have any piece. I mean, if we'd have held on with our ace-4, we wouldn't have been in a position where we doubled him up a second time, but never mind. Oh, that was meant to be. That's the problem with Sky, is you end up making silly min bets sometimes that you don't want to make. Picked up a gut shot here, so we might just empty the clip. We don't need to because we river the nuts. Come on, Bazza. You can bet. Oh, you can bet, Bazza. I like that. So you're going to go all in here with the nuts. No other size to make, really. And unfortunately for Bazza, he had a very expensive second best hand. It is quite hard to focus on what you're talking about in a video when you're 40 on Sky. Didn't realise just how challenging it might be. I'm going to try and spike my gutter ball. We didn't spike it, so never mind. Well, just had the deuces. Just the deuces. We'll, even though I never expect to see sexy in my games, we will give him a nice tag, because you just never know. You just never know, he might turn up one day. It's nice to be reminded. And we dumped into here with the aces. No race for value. Call with our good shot. We've been 3-bet. We're probably behind here, but you never know, we might not be. Nope, we're not. Kind of thought he was value betting. When they take the bet 3-bet line, it's typically a value bet or a draw. And he was value betting, just fortunately we had the cure for his particular value hand. Touch unfortunate for him, I guess, but that's where we don't overvalue one pair usually. We have top pair, moderate kicker, and we get lots of action. We better hope we're up against a bad player, otherwise we're in bad shape. It'll limp along with the 10 jack. I was going to isolate it, but we insist heavily multi-way. I think limping along is just fine. We're not going to fall to Lexi, that's for sure. We're going to try and make a pair against Lexi, and we're going to hopefully try and get lots of money in. We don't make a pair against Lexi, so now we're just going to be done with it. When you do meet players like Sexy, I kept calling him Lexi there for some reason. When you do meet players like Sexy, you will often feel like you're just being absolutely destroyed and run over by them. Because if you're playing against somebody who's aggressive and just never folds, it can get very frustrating very quickly. The trick is to just keep your composure. Make sure that you remember what it is you're here to achieve, which is basically just make a pair and get value. And the times you don't make a pair, you're just going to have to accept you're going to lose to them most of the time. It's hard to make money from people who don't fold if you're not making hands. So it's very important you don't spew against them. Like maybe I did spew slightly early with the Queen 5. I'm not too worried about that because it's just 10-L and I'm making a video and trying to make it interesting. But if I was playing my usual games, if I was playing a 13 or 15-L game, if I allow myself to tilt and play badly against Sexy, I could easily do 100, 200 quid in very short order. And you don't want to be doing that because even in soft games, clawing back, 4-buy-in downswings can be very hard to do. And then we don't really want to be playing heads up right now. So I think what I'm going to do is just pause the video whilst I try and find another table because it's quick enough as it is without getting involved in a heads up battle. So I'll pause in a moment and then I'll be back when I've got a fourth table so the screen doesn't look ugly. So here we are, we're back, and we've actually now got in the bottom right a 20-L cap table. I think we're capped. I think the most you can play for in a pot is 30 blinds, I think, which typically aren't games that I play, but we're having a bit of a mix and match time. And yeah, so now we're playing some cap as well. We're going to fold the ace-10 suited down here. And Sexy just going all in like Billio again. We're going to try and have some sensible ranges against Sexy for calling it off. And we're going to have to tighten up now. Now he's in this, it's like pre-flop shoving mode again. When he got up to £10, he was kind of playing a bit more sensibly. Now it looks like he's just in let's go all in all the time mode. So we need to make sure that we're not opening too loosely now. And I'm presuming someone's going to trap him very quickly. Or at least try to trap him. We're going to 3-bet here against Bazza and try to get all the money in pre-flop. He only has a fiver. And we get it in good. And he's now drawing pretty damn thin. And good for us. Now, I've never actually, I've played these capped games very occasionally. And to be fair, they do seem quite soft. But I just think it's going to be hard to have a decent win rate in capped games just because you can't win big pots. I guess the other side of that is maybe it encourages people to play a little bit looser because they're not risking as much money on any one hand, so I'm not sure. I've never really felt motivated to check them out. Who knows, maybe that's worth looking at. I know I've got a friend who plays the spin-up games on Sky, which I think are appalling. And then I think you're buying for the maximum buy-in is 10 blinds. But he said when those games get deep, they are crazy. So who knows? I just don't think I can be bothered playing games where it might take 2 hours to get deep. And the player you finally want to get deep against, you get deep with him, and then he quits for the night. And then your whole night just kind of gets fucked up. I'm not sure if it would be better than spin-up games if they just weren't, if you could buy in for more. But the minimum buy-in was, I don't know, 10 blinds or something. That was still give the people who wanted to play for 10 blinds the option to do so, whilst at the same time giving other players the option to play as deep as they wanted to play. We're just going to call it Barker goes in way too often. He's trapped us with the queens, but I mean, we've seen him go all in. Ooh, we've spiked that set. Not giving the flush. Oh! I guess we can't complain too much. What Barker's been, he's been all in at least 5 times during this video pre-flop. Maybe he's just had fucking massive pairs every time, who knows? But, never mind. Oops. It's hard to feel cross when you're playing stakes. Kind of like 10%. Oh, he's in again, look. Oh, he's got beat by the 7 deuce this time. Yeah, so as you can see, for those of you who have been thinking about maybe making a transition to Sky from a softlist from that tougher side, just look at what's going on in these games. There's plenty of money, not plenty of money because it means 10 and out, so sorry, 4 and out, so there's not lots of money around. We're just going to fold here, I think. Are we? Top pair, top kicker. Well, I guess we're not. I guess we're not. I guess we should have. Did we win the side pot there? We didn't, did we? Never mind. Never mind. That's life. I'm not going to call with the Queen 10 off. Being called by Ant-Man. I'm going to start by checking. I'm going to see about our ace queen. Fold out king queen. Open out king 7. This does feel a little bit rushed. Sorry for these guys if it's hard to follow. We're not going to double barrel here when the turn breaks out, as it did. But we will be going with some value on the river. Now, try and get a jack to call. I think a jack will call a reasonable size bet here, so I'm not going to make it too small. If we get raised, we have a very easy fold. Yeah, so as you can see, these games really are. They're as soft as you can possibly imagine. If you're currently battling along playing 5-0 on Poker Stars, if you came and played 4-0 on Sky, 4 pence an hour, oh wow, second time we've fallen for that routine with 10s, never mind, doesn't matter. Yeah, if you are playing 5-0 on Stars or something like that, and then kind of just making ends meet, but that's it. Just take a look at these games. You would print money. You would absolutely print money by coming here. I guess we cut. And I guess we win. I'm a little bit disappointed with the fact we've got 10s in twice pre and just been stone cool at both times, but I guess we can't complain too much. One was at 4 and the other one was at a 20 at cap table, so in terms of how it's bothered us financially, it hasn't really bothered us at all. I've got hope as a demonstration of game quality. I mean, we are talking here 6 o'clock in the morning, well, 7 o'clock in the morning now, and the micro states games are all live and kicking, the nano states games are all live and kicking. I've no idea how good they are during the day and in the evening, but I can only imagine that games through 2-0, 4-0, sorry, 4-0, I'm not sure if 6-0 is actually a game on Sky or not, and 10-0. I can imagine every single table you sit at is going to be a good table. I have a hard time believing there'd be too many solid regulars in those games. Might be some, but I have a hard time believing there'd be very many. So yeah, do make the switch if you're currently feel like you're a good player, but not really making a breakthrough on a tougher site, and especially if you're based in the UK. I think you can play on Sky from abroad, but I'm not sure. Give it a little whirl. Don't think you'll regret it. Once you get used to the pretty poor software, I think you'll be very pleased with what you find. I think we are going to call it a night in a minute though, because I'm pretty tired now. I stayed up most of the night. I was playing on Sky till about 1 in the morning. Then played some Snap when the Sky games died. I played some Snap till about 4 in the morning. Then the wife was getting up for work at 5 o'clock, so I thought, well, don't really want to go and disturb her now, so I stayed up for an hour. Stayed up to make the wife a coffee, see her off to work, walked around to work, and then the fresh air kind of got to me, made me feel quite awake. So I thought, fuck it, let's make a video. But I am starting to feel a little bit tired now. I've been awake for around 20 hours straight. So we are going to call it a day pretty soon. We're going to continue value betting our king first. Against my friend John down here. Tempted to value bet the river, but I think we'll just check it back. And maybe he would have called there. Yeah. So it'll appear too. We're just going to sit out the next blind all our tables, and then we're going to call it a day from there. Razor Blue's just shoved on us again. Unfortunately, I think we'll probably have to call here. I'll probably run into a monster again. It's quite irritating. Let me suck out for once. Nope. Yeah, and I think I'm probably going to be really quite shit at these cap games, because I just think, fuck it, let's see, whatever. You know, I've made it 7 blinds. I mean, who knows? That's probably another horrendous call there with the ace-10, but whatever, good for Raz Blue. Delighted for him. Question up here is, can we value bet our Queen 10 on the end? I think we clearly can. And we lose to Big Ray, but we beat Pavuk, so we made a little bit of money in that pot. Not as much as I would have liked, but never mind. It's been a bit of a hectic session here. I've never really felt like I've been in control at any point. 4 table isn't something I usually do on Sky. 3 is usually my limit. I thought, fuck it, we'll play 4. It may be more aesthetically pleasing for the video, but yeah, I kind of never felt in control really. Never really felt like I had much of a say what's going on. Definitely made some mistakes at this table. I think the 10s wasn't a mistake, but that ace-10 was a mistake. He just called off 30 blinds there. Didn't need to call off, but whatever, who cares? It's not the end of the world. I'll be calling the race there with the Jack-10 off. It's a pretty hand, don't get me wrong, but then not that pretty. I'm not going to play the deuce-4 either. And we would play the ace-4, but no one's got any money, so what's the point? And that's why these games are quite bad, because you can't really play any of those hands. I think they'd probably be really good if you're a tournament player who wants to play some cash games on the side, but you're not that comfortable with your deep stack game, probably shit up for you. If you're used to playing the 20, 30, 40 blind stacks, it'd be a really natural fit for you. But I mean, if you're a good cash game player, very much doubt they're going to be much use. I say the only reason that I even added the table was because it's 7 in the morning, there's nothing going, and I didn't want to end the video with a dirty great big gap in the bottom right corner, because that'd just look shit. So it's kind of cost me 12 quid just to make the video aesthetically pleasing for you guys. So hope you appreciate that. So we're going to be sitting out here now, aren't we? That wasn't checked, and yeah, that's going to be the end of the video because we've played every hand that's left to play. So I hope you enjoyed seeing what Sky Poker's like. Sorry if it's been a little bit jumbled and a little bit all over the place. I don't think I'll be doing 4 tabling videos again on Sky. As much as it seems like a good idea that we're always in the action somewhere, it's actually, I think it's going to be a little bit hard for you guys to follow. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've maybe had your mind open to a different way of doing things. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.